What's up, guys? It's Drac, and we have yet another N-Series blaster. This one I did not get to play with at the mothership, mostly because it was out straight pimping. It's a pimp named Strikeback. Let's get into it. It looks like a shotgun, but shotgun it is not. Don't let appearances deceive you. This is another internal magazine N-Series blaster with side saddle action so that you can slap some darts on there to make it easier to top off your internal mag. Looks like it holds 6 inside, and once again, the Boy Scouts just don't quit. It comes with thrice the ammo that you need. With a brand new ammo type, especially an ammo type that costs serious coin, it's nice. It's genuinely very kind of Hasbro to include 3 times the amount required to fill the blaster. Interesting in this case, because it also, if the dart storage is symmetrical, it'll hold all of the darts it comes with on its body. 3 in the stock, and then 3 on each side, and then 3 on the other side of the stock. If it's not symmetrical, then that was a really weird design choice. But the fastest way to find out is to crack it out of the package and see what it's got under the hood. Talk about some of its N-Strike accessories, perhaps. Packaging's out of here. Does come with 2 of these puppies, so snap one on here, and then snap this one back to reality. And it looks like there is in fact dart storage on both sides of the stock, so we'll load it completely. Once again, loading up this internal mag. This one's a little more aesthetically pleasing than the one that wants to be a Retaliator, but fatter, in that its 6 dart magazine is a little less chunky on the front end. You can still definitely see, you know, traces of the ancestor survive in the children. It's got this like funky foregrip looking thing, and at first you're like, what is this for? But it's where it's holding the base, the follower of that when it's fully loaded. Again, it just really looks like this should be like a sling fire, like Terminator. It's not. It is a solid body. I'm already defaulting to the magazine as a grip, which is a little funny. I guess if you're a longer foam flinger, that'll make sense. That's a more comfortable position. You want to be back here. This is where you got to be. And that feels a little cramped. But this is very clearly for, you know, a more introductory category of foam flinger. Grip feels good. You got side saddles on both sides for 12 darts of storage. You have 1 tactical rail up here, which I think is maybe a missed opportunity. I think you could have put one on the base of the magazine, and that might disincentivize me from using that as a grip and then going to pump and be like, darn. I hate it when the go, no go. Anyway, let's fire it a couple of times. That is very satisfying, actually. It's not, it's got like a very chunky recoil to it. Blasters don't usually have recoil. If you get the chance to play with one of these, you'll see what I mean. It's chunk. And maybe you can hear it a little. I'm like simulating it now. I've overplayed it. It's not that cool, but it's a little cool. It's a little cool. Maybe it's the heavier ammo, but it's got a very clunky, like kind of feel to it, which means that maybe it would have a play pattern if it wasn't loaded. But most important question here is, does it have slam fire? It looks like it should have slam fire. It's got a pump action on it, for goodness sake. It does not. It does not have slam fire. And luckily that was our 6th shot, so it didn't jam itself when I tried to slam fire it. The side saddle is comfortable to load off of, both sides. Not a bad experience there. I will load this side so that I can expose that, you know, its only real safety feature here is that it's got a slide lock release. If you happen to jam the blaster, which should happen less often, given that the N-Series darts are a 3-part construction, that's 1 body and then tip, they're less likely to crunch and jam than otherwise. Now they do have dart DRM, which means that if this nubbin is not detected in there, you could have a jam just because it fails to fire. But no slam fire is frustrating. Also a little funky is that the slide for the top is this whole panel on the blaster. No serious paint, just the NERF logo here, but the entire slide moves. This is something that Hasbro's been doing recently. I don't know how I feel about it, especially since you prime back and the whole thing moves, then you prime forward and the orange logo stays behind and moves forward with the firing mechanism. A lot of moving parts for small fingers is not usually a dream scenario. Also, it's just kind of funky and I believe responsible for that mechanical sort of cha-chunk that I was resonating with earlier. The vibes are good, but the vibes are dangerous. It's like a nightclub. Anyway, that is the N-Series Strikeback, not a shotgun, not a 2-dart blaster. It's got a faux barrel underneath, certainly not an over-under. Really sick sci-fi aesthetic. I mean, a cool shell for 25 bucks. I don't think it's a bad option, but don't be buying it looking for something incredibly featureful because you're stuck with a 6-dart internal magazine. You don't have a lot of room to mod. This is not an in-strike barrel attachment, and you are forced to use a stock that could not be shorter if it tried. It is a painfully small stock attached to something that is not a pistol grip shotgun, where it might at least feel a little bit better. This is like a fencing grip shotgun. It's very confusing. Oh wait, I must brace myself. So anyway, let's put it over the chronograph, see what it's hitting. All right, so we're about 35 feet down from the range. We've got our our strike back. It's not a pimp. We'll put a few down range. I will shoulder it. And that hit, kind of. Alrighty, we got our 2 bonus shots. A couple more in the side saddle. Hidden FPSs of about like mid to low 80s. I think that this is, you know, it's a pretty standard offering for N-Series. Is it better than Elite? In almost every way. Is it a little clunky? Is the internal magazine a little funky? Are you using a different style of dart? It's more accurate than an Elite dart, but that's, you know, not saying much. It's certainly less accurate than any sort of half-length ammo or pro performance ammo out there. But, you know, we are getting some of the darts on our target. I was aiming a little high, anticipating the drop, and then we were getting some float. So admittedly, none of those hit the target. Make of that, I suppose, what you will. I think that for the price, it's got a very reasonable sort of play pattern. I mean, I do like the clunky chunkiness of it. I think the stock is a little silly, but it's certainly an excellent pickup on sale. It's not a bad pickup in general. I mean, if this is the age range that you're targeting, if this is something that you're already considering, I think it is one of the more unique offerings in the N-Series line, and it's relatively comfortable to use. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Much love, blast on, Drac out.